Alright, boys and girls, today we are going to model another bracket that I found off of the internet. So I'm going to insert the file from my computer. I called it bracket 10,000. I'm going to insert it as an image. Alright. There we go. I don't need my person, so I will remove the person. Now, let's see. I'm going to change my view. All right, I do want to resize. All right, so here I can see that from this point to this point, it should be 72 millimeters. I will select this point, and I will move over to here, and I will type 72. Do you want to resize? Okay. Oh, where did it go? Oh, there it is. Now, it's important to do that if you are going to 3D print your bracket. If not, if you're just learning by practicing, then you don't really need to resize it. All right. Now, I want to explode my image so that I can work on it. I'm going to right click. I'm going to choose explode. Okay, very good, very good. Now, I like the picture here. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to capture this picture, and I'm going to use it in my modeling. Okay. I'm going to actually make it a group. Now, I should be able to move a copy out. Let's see, I will put it on the origin, and then I will move it over. There we go. All right. Now, let's see. I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to outline the rest of this. Okay. Oops. Control Z. I made a little mistake. That's okay. All right. I've selected the area outside the rectangle that I created. I'm going to delete it. Now I'm going to remove some of the excess that was left behind. Okay. Next, I will further continue. All right, I don't need this little piece right here, so I will remove that. All right. Now, I'm going to make this piece a group. Double click, right click, make group. I will do the same to this piece here. Double click, make group, and I will do the same here. Double click, make group. Okay. Now I will orbit just a bit so as to regain my bearings. Sometimes when you are in a three-dimensional space, you can get a little disoriented. All right. Now, first thing I need to decide is which one of these pictures is going to be viewed from the top, from above? Now, as you can see here, if you were looking at this bracket from above, you would be looking straight down at this angle. So what you would see is this picture right here. So I will move this picture to the origin. That is the picture that we would see from above. Sometimes they call that the bird's eye view. All right, let's pause now and think which one of these pictures would be the side view if we were to view this bracket from the side. Which one would we be looking at? Yes, that's correct. I think we would be looking at this picture right here. Okay, so what we want to do is we want to take this picture and we want to rotate it around the red axis. So hotkey Q, use your arrow keys to choose the red circle. Click on the corner, create the arm, and lift until it locks on the blue axis. All right. Now we need to rotate it around the blue axis. So I'm already in blue. So let's see, I will choose this point up here at the top. Create a lever arm. Snap it into place. There we go. All right. Now we will use the move tool to move it to our origin. There we go. All right. Now, as you can see, what's left is this picture right here. We need to rotate it around the red axis. All right. Lift upwards. Whoa, that's too far. There we go. And next, we need to push it back. Move tool. Push it back. All right. Now we have a nice cage for which to view, for which to model inside. Now, let's move this over a little bit. Okay. Now what I'm going to do actually is I'm going to create a copy of this picture. Let's see, where do I want to put it? For now, I'm going to put it right here. And then I'm going to rotate it up around the red. Lift. And then I'm going to rotate it around the blue. And then I'm going to actually move it over to the side. All right. Now I have multiple reference images from which I can look at. Okay. There we go. That's very helpful indeed. Now, we're going to try something a little bit different. In the other videos, we did not trim down our reference images, and it worked just fine. But for this video, we are going to concentrate a little bit on being accurate, on accuracy. So in order to be more accurate, we are going to do a trim down. I call this a trim down. Let me move this back just a little bit. There we go. Should probably move this back too. All right. That is fine. Okay, so what do I mean by a trim down? Well, let's start off with this picture right here. All right, I'm going to edit the group. Okay. Now, when you edit the group, you notice that you have this dotted outline around it. I am in editing mode when that happens, and that's what I want. So what I'm going to do, very carefully, I'm going to select this edge. Notice I'm in the pointer tool. I'm going to click on it. I'm going to bring up the move tool. And very carefully, I'm going to move this line over to the edge, just like that. Okay, bring back the pointer tool. I'm going to do the same over here. I'm going to select this edge. I'm going to hit the move tool. Now, when I move over, I don't want it to twist or contort. I want to make sure I am moving it along the green axis. I could lock it into place if I needed to, but I'm just going to move slowly. And I will click. Now, I'm going to do the same thing on the sides. Bring up my pointer, select the edge. Notice it turns a vibrant green. Choose the move tool now. Slowly, notice it's following along the red axis. Move to the edge. Pointer tool. Select the edge. Move tool. There we go. Back up just a little bit. All right. Now I can snap this to the axis of origin. That looks good. Now, let's do the same to this reference image right here. If I double click it, it brings me into the edit mode. All right. We will start at the bottom. Pointer tool. Select the edge. Move tool. Moving slowly. There we go. Pan for your viewing pleasure. All right, select the edge. Move tool. All right. Let's do the same over here. Select the edge. Move tool. There we go. Pan. Select the edge. Move. Don't twist. See how it's twisted? Be careful not to twist. I will hit escape. Try again. One more time. I might have to lock it in place. I locked it in place on the green axis because I was having trouble with a steady hand. That way I don't have to worry about shifting. All right, that looks good. Now, what we're going to do is we are going to relocate this using the origin as our guide. It is a multi-step process. Snap into place on the origin. Then we will push back. Steady hand, slowly. Notice it says green axis. Click. Okay, there we go. Now we will focus on this side over here. I will double click. I will choose the edge. M, hotkey M. Moving upwards. There we are. Pan. Choose the edge. M. There we go. Let's try up here. M. All right. Orbit. Choose the edge. There. Now, let's relocate this using the origin as our guide. I'm having trouble snapping to the origin. I will start over. Sometimes you need to orbit. Snap. All right. Hotkey M for a pushback. Careful to maintain on the red axis. All right. Now we can see we have a nice cage set up. All right, now let's work on creating our different views. Choose parallel projection. Okay. Now let's start off with, let's see, this will be our top view, our bird's eye view. I will make it a little bigger. I will pan for your viewing pleasure. There we go. This will be, we will click on the plus sign. We will add a scene. We will call this top. All right, now we will look for a different view. I think if I choose this side of the house here, I will get a nice front view. All right, let's scoot it over just a little bit. Let's add a scene. I will call this front. Enter. So we have our top view. Now we have our front view. Okay, very good. All right, now I think we need a nice side view. So I'm going to click on this icon right here. Gives us a nice side profile. Let me scoot it over just a little bit. There we go. I will add a scene. I'm going to call this side. Enter. Now let's test. Here we have our top view, our front view, and our side view. There we go. I say we create one more view. Here, this will become the isographic view. I will call this ISO for isometric. ISO. All right. And I like to change the transition time. Sometimes I think it's too slow. Let's test one more time. Top, front, and side. All right. Now we can start our modeling. Where should we begin? I think I will create the base here. First, let's try that. Hotkey R for rectangle tool. Push pull. All right, how far up should I go? Well, I need to look at one of my views. Let's test the side view. All right. It looks like I should probably... Well, I'll tell you what. Let's put it here for now. There are many ways that we can tackle this, boys and girls. Many different ways. I'm sure that some ways are more efficient than others. But for now, we will start off like this. All right. Now, remember we also have our X-ray mode. All right, that we can use to help us with our planning. So let's see. Here, if I go back to top view, I must bring back X-ray. All right. Now I can incorporate my guides. Hotkey T. Let's see, let's create several guides coming down to the middle of this dark line here. All right. Let's create a guide from the side. All right, how about right there? It doesn't need to be perfect. Let's do the same on the other side. There we go. Now let's create guides for these circles. All right, that works. Let's do the same over here. I like to use the midpoint as my starting point for my guidelines. There we go. Now let's create a guideline horizontally. All right, now I think we can create some circles. Look for the intersection label. All right, pay attention to your radius. Placement of the radius is important. I like the radius to be on the axis. All right, now I am using my eyeballs to determine what I think is appropriate here. It does not need to be perfect. I'm going to come over here and I'm going to do the same thing, using my eyeballs to gauge the size of the circle. That looks good. All right, now I'm going to do a push-pull. Let me go out of X-ray mode. There we go. Let's see, hotkey P. Ah. Look from underneath. Let's see if that worked. Oh, it did indeed. Let's do the same over here. All right. Here we have completed 2 circles. That looks good. Now, let's view again from the top. All right, now we're still in X-ray mode. That's good. All right, I think we need to try to create this sweeping corner here. What I'm thinking is that I have the guidelines in place. What if I were to use the arc tool to try to create this sweeping motion? Let's see, I will use the arc tool, intersection, intersection. Oh, and it's tangent to the edge. So I will click. The tangent is purple. Oh, very nice. Let's see if we can get the same sort of pattern over here. X, X, tangent, and tangent again. Oh, that worked out. That worked out swimmingly. All right, let's see if we can push-pull. I like to do the push-pull when I'm not in X-ray mode. There we go. See if we can push-pull over here. All right. That looks better. Looks good. It's coming along now. All right. Now, let's take a look at the side view. I notice here there's this right angle. Back to the top. All right, we are going to create a guideline. Hotkey T. Oh, maybe I should do a little bit of cleanup. Well, I'll hold off on that. Hotkey T. I'm going to come down to this line right here. All right. Now this time I'm actually going to create a real line. Intersection, moving all the way across. Intersection. All right, there we go. Let's see if I can push-pull this piece down that we just created. Ah, there we go. Let's look at it from the side. How far down? How about right in the middle of this black line? There we go. All right, let's see what we just did. That's X-ray. X-ray off. All right, we created that wedge right here, which is here on the reference. You can see the wedge. So we've created the circles, we've created the sweeping corner, we've created the wedge here in the back. All right, what next? I think we can do some cleanup. All right. Sometimes the cleanup can get distracting. Without the cleanup, it can be distracting. All right, what should we do next? Let's see, it looks like we need to elevate our bracket right here. So let's create a guideline. Top view. We will create this guideline right here. All right, hotkey T, midpoint. I'm going to come to the middle of this line right here. Click. And I know that I will add a real line on top. Look for the, let's see. Oh, that placed it in the center. I think it's time for a Control Z. Let's try that one more time. I want to create the guideline from the top. So I'm actually going to select my midpoint here. And I'm going to come down, straight down, and then I'm going to click top. That way I am working on the face on the top. Okay, see, I couldn't get the intersection before because I accidentally put the guideline in the middle. Now I should get the intersection label. I will move all the way over to the other intersection label. All right, now I should be able to push-pull. Oh, there we go. Very satisfying, very satisfying. I should be able to push-pull. How high do I want to go? Let's see, side. Oh, that looks good. Right about there. Let's turn off X-ray mode so we can see what we just did. All right. That's coming along now. All right. Let's go to front view, which is in X-ray mode. We are going to create this sweeping pattern here. All right, in order to do that, I'm going to have to create some guides, some guidelines. All right. I want to orbit a little bit so I can get the correct face. All right, let's go back to front view. Here, I'm going to create, let's see. Yes, I want a line here. Alrighty. And now I'm going to create a guideline, a vertical guideline. I want to make sure I get the correct face, which is why I orbited a little. All right. Choose front. Zoom in. A little more. There we go. Now I can probably arc these 2 points. Well, I have to eyeball this. Before I do that arcing, I should have probably created a guideline here and one here. Let me do that real quick. Make sure I'm on the right plane. There we go. Back to front view. Zoom in. All right. Let's see, what was that distance? Let me Control Z that. That was approximately 21.27. I'm going to try to replicate that over here. Oh, that's probably close enough. All right. Now I can see that I'm going to need one more guideline down here. All right, let's try. Let's see how we do with that. Moving upwards. Choose the front view. Zoom in. Probably, if we're lucky. There we go. And the arc shape down here, we're going to need to create another guide. Let's see. On edge. Front. Zoom in. 6.03. Let's try and replicate that over here. Choose the front. Zoom in. Let's see. Oh, 6.00. That's probably very close. There we go. Now we should be able to create our arcs. Cross your fingers. We will start up here. Intersection. Let's see. Intersection. Tangent to edge. I like that. Click. Let's do the same on this side. Let's see if we can. Oh, look here. Look here, boys and girls. Look very closely. This guideline that I was looking for was placed on the wrong plane. Notice how this one is pure white and this one is grayed out. This one is not going to help me. So I'm going to back up just a bit. I'm actually going to erase this one. And I'm going to try that guideline again. Making sure I am moving inward from the right plane. All right. Let's try that. X. Endpoint. Tangent at vertex. All right. Now let's create this line coming down here. X. Let's do the same over here. X. Okay. Now let's create our sweeping arcs. See if I can get an X. I want to connect this point and this point with my arc tool. X. End point. Front view. On face. I am looking for a clean connection. I'm afraid I might not get it. That's okay, I might have to improvise. As long as it says on face, I should be okay. So I will select that. Now I will do the same over here. Orbit a little bit for the intersection. Choose front. There we go. On face. All right. Let's create our circle. X for the intersection. That looks good. Notice I'm not right here in the center, but I'm on an axis. Click. All right. Now let's try and do some push-pulling. I'm going to go out of X-ray mode for that. You know, I like to see the push-pull as it's a solid. Cross your fingers. Yeah, that looks clean. That looks clean. That looks clean. Oh, there we go. That looks good. Let's try this side. Very good, very good. Let's try our circle. Moving through. All right. Oh, there we go. That looks very nice. Very similar. Now we need to create this part right here. We can use this reference image. I noticed that, let's see, if I bring up my line tool, find the center, and I can move up to this guideline here. Midpoint. All right, it looks like I'm going to eyeball this. I'm going to bring it to about here. That's just an eyeball, but it looks good. All right, now I need to close this off. Intersection. Endpoint. And it's closed off. Now let's give it some depth, some thickness. I'm going to choose push-pull. Push-pull with control. That way I will get a new face. Now I'm not sure how far to bring it out, so I'm going to choose front view. Here I can see that it should go to here. I will click. I will do the same on this side. Push-pull with control. Notice the plus sign. How far? I don't know. I will click front. I'm eyeballing this. There we go. Oh, that looks good. Let's take it out of X-ray mode. All right. I think I can remove this centerpiece here. Do some cleanup. Oh, I think we might be finished. Oh, no, I see one more thing. One more piece. Notice here, it sticks out. All right, so we want to try to create a circle here that pushes out a little bit. All right, I'm going to push this back to get it out of the way so that I have some room to work. All right, what if I use the arc tool? The arc tool is very popular today. What if I create the arc tool, use the arc tool, click here, come over to the other side, click, and then create a half circle. It should, notice your inference label. It says half circle. That might be what I need. I'm going to click. All right. Now, if all goes well, I should be able to push pull. Oh, there we go. How far do I want to push pull? Well, let's click on the side view. Here I can see. I'm going to bring it right there. All right. I think we might be finished. Everything looks clean. Now, one thing that does concern me. Oh, no, I think everything looks good. Let me take it out of X-ray mode one last time. All right. Here we have our bracket. And it's ready to 3D print.